my cafe drink, and I am beyond excited tonight. I'm gonna turn my fan off, see if I can make it through without getting hot. Oh my gosh, so welcome to the Sweet Life Cafe. This is the Sweet Life Cafe. You are with me, Stephanie J, on the Sweet Life Cafe. The Sweet Life Cafe is where I talk, but I don't always talk. I bring on other women and other amazing individuals, mostly women. Sometimes my husband comes on to share their stories, their experiences, their businesses, to share their life, because there are so many stories out there of women who have triumphed, who are triumphing, who are doing it, and I don't want one voice to be left out. If I can help it, I want them to be here. So until, I have the national talk show, this is where we're going to be meeting. I got my drink. Grab your drink. I'm going to bring Betsy in very, very shortly because I don't want to waste a moment of her time. There she is. I'm going to bring you in just a second, Betsy. I'm so glad we're here tonight. Let's get ready. Let's get ready for Betsy because, she's got energy. I got energy. And I hope you have energy. And I hope I have tea. No coffee, tea. But we're in the Sweet Life Cafe, so bring a drink. Betsy is going to be in here in just a second. I'm going to turn this music off. I have everything ready. I'm so excited. Okay. Let me get it under control. Because, Oprah doesn't act like this, does she? No. Well, maybe sometimes. All right. Oh my gosh. Betsy, I am so excited to have her here. So I'm going to fade our music out here. And let's get this party started. So this is going to work perfectly. And I'm going to go ahead and add Betsy in because you know what? I don't want to waste a moment of time. While Betsy's on her way in, I wanted to remind you guys of the 7 affirmations we've been doing. There she is!
Hi, I'm here.
You're here!
I'm so happy to be here.
I have
Thanks
been
for
waiting
having
this
me.
for so long. And now my dog decides to start barking, so,
That's okay. We're all family here, Steph.
He's part of the family, so we have to keep him. Well, thank you, girls, so much. Like, I've been chasing Betsy down since the spring, trying to get her here. But you know what? I just said, God, whenever it happens, it's supposed to happen. And whoever is here for this is supposed to hear it. So this is the anointed time, selected time that we have been given to have this conversation. And I am so excited to have you here. So I just want you to tell the women a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Okay. Well, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
First of all, okay, awesome. Well, my name is Betsy McNally-LaVar. I am a personal trainer and nutritionist, and I work only with gymnasts and their moms. So I know Stephanie because I actually have coached her daughter. I coached her daughter when she was about 5 years old,
Yeah.
I believe. And Stephanie has gotten to know me through Cincinnati Gymnastics, where that is my home base. But I've really been lucky. I've had a very long journey to get to where I am, but I have a really specialized niche in the gymnastics world, which is just nutrition and just fitness for gymnasts. So that's a little bit about me and what I do. And I'm just happy to be here to meet your viewers.
Well, I love that you specify that, and I know you think that you only for gymnasts, but the information you provide truly helps the gymnast family. Which, looking at, like, one of the things that I've been looking at for years is childhood obesity, and I just had a conversation with somebody like recently about this, and what you do actually is changing a whole new generation, even in families.
Well, I like to think so. A lot of my client base is the mom. I started working with moms because I'm a mom, and that really, if the moms aren't on board, then who's buying the food? Really, the mom, the dad, the parents. So I like to think that I can relate to the parents when I do my boot camps and when I do my live presentations. I'm speaking to the gymnasts, but really I'm speaking to the parents first. So I like to think that I'm helping the whole family. I think I am, based on a lot of the feedback that I'm getting from athletes and their families. So obesity is a huge issue in our country, and it's geographically, it's really interesting too. As I travel the country, I see different areas of the country that are really, really battling and struggling with nutrition. Yeah. I'm going to Mississippi in a couple days here, and Mississippi is really, truly battling obesity right now. So I feel so blessed that I have a gym there that brings me in 2 times a year to educate the families. And we recently had a dad lose 100 pounds just from one presentation I gave. Yeah, it was really,
Girl,
really cool.
stop.
Isn't that
Girl,
awesome?
stop.
Yes, 100 pounds just from one presentation I gave on clean eating. So education is so important, and if I need to, hit the parents through the kids, I'll take it.
Well, I mean, you've hit my family. So can you tell them a little bit about your background, about how you even decided to go into nutrition and fitness?
Well, I was a gymnast, and when I was 14 years old, my coach told me I was fat. Literally, like pulled me into his office, and by the way, I have no hard feelings toward this guy at all. Like totally, God bless him, because he gave me the inspiration to do what I'm doing now, which is touching thousands of gymnasts every summer in my boot camp. But he basically said, Betsy, you should go play volleyball, or you should go play soccer or something else, because you're out of shape, overweight, and you shouldn't be doing this sport. Well, that crushed my little heart, because I was in there for 4 hours a day, training. I was a level 10. I thought it was pretty good, but apparently not. And but I kept getting hurt, and like I kept getting stress fractures, and honestly my nutrition was terrible. I was eating like 4 bowls of cereal before practice, thinking I'm going to be a level 10, and I just really didn't trust my body. I didn't trust myself. Wasn't educated. Nobody taught me. So now as a nutritionist for gymnasts, I want to get these kids before someone says something to them, or some imagery on TV gets to them where they feel like they're not good enough or they can't do something, and which is a bunch of BS. And I used that as fuel later in my life to become a professional bodybuilder and write a book about it. And I overcame some eating disorder issues too, which is another story. But basically, I've used my struggles in my life to help young, impressionable girls. And that is my passion.
I'm so glad you said that, because, one of the things I talked about recently, I was doing a speech, and I talked about that we all have a story. And one of the things that I reiterate to my community is that you have a story, and you really, like, your story is part of you, but to use that story to become the thing that becomes the thing that becomes the thing. And that's what I've really been talking about in the community, is the thing that leads to the thing that leads to the thing. It doesn't have to be the thing that stops you. It can be the thing that leads to the thing. And for you, I've seen that happen. Because I remember you back when you were a bodybuilder, and then fast forward, I don't know, 7 years or something like that. And
10.
Was it 10? Oh, God.
Yeah.
And then you're back from France, and you're a mom, and you're teaching about nutrition.
Yes.
What are some of the challenges that you have seen personally and professionally with making those adjustments in nutrition and fitness?
Personally, for me, I struggled a long time as a bodybuilder. And Stephanie, I know you were a bodybuilder at some point.
Yep.
It's a sport or art that takes a lot of discipline, and I appreciate that. And anybody who can do it, kudos to you. Seriously, good for you. But for me personally, that type of restricting of only eating white fish and asparagus every 2 to 3 hours, doing 2 hours of cardio a day, lifting weights, cutting off my family ties, it wasn't healthy for me. It was too restrictive, and I was like, I became a shell of a person. Really, I became a robot, because I was always focused about my workouts, always focused about my nutrition, always focused about, like, I would literally bring my fish and asparagus to like a 5-star dinner. And like,
hello.
Yeah. It's like,
I remember bringing chicken breast. I chopped it all up to a movie because I didn't want to get popcorn. So I sat there and ate pieces of dried chicken breast in the movie.
Isn't that crazy? And it's like, you do it's supposed to be this very healthy sport, but in reality, and again, I'm not knocking bodybuilding, because it takes a lot of discipline, and it's a great thing, I think, for a period of time. But to withstand that lifestyle, it's not, I lost my first marriage because of it. And my first husband was a great guy. It's just, he wanted to spend time with me. And guess what? I wanted to be in the gym eating asparagus and fish. So it was a huge, one thing is just extremes. I've learned that nutrition cannot be extreme. It needs to be balanced.
That's
what I've learned, like, through working with clients, is that a lot of times clients go in with this either a gymnast, an elite gymnast, because I work with, Olympians all the way down to little level threes. They focus on, I've got to get this, I've got it, because they're type A personalities, a lot of gymnasts. So, so I feel like there's too much extreme keto diet, this diet, that diet, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's not healthy. And my focus is balance, truly about balance.
And that's
my
what
husband just brought in a light for me.
Oh, Mess, you're the best.
You're the best. That's a little bright. That's probably better right
Bonjour,
there.
Mess. Ça va?
Bonjour. Merci. So I hope this light is okay.
No, you're there. I can see you. I can still.
Okay.
Is it getting dark out? I guess I don't know.
It is. I didn't prepare for this, so if I need to move, I will. But Stephanie, the short then the long of it is, I think nutrition needs to be balanced, and I've learned it through my own extremes, which led me to have an eating disorder. And again, I don't want these gymnasts to deal with that. I want them to have all the education they need to be able to be the best athletes they can be and feel good about their body, feel good about putting a leotard on.
Yeah. And I think that, I mean, honestly, like, I know we talk about the gymnast, but like you said, it's the family. And, like, even we've dealt with that in our family with, when the body changes and being able to do that in a nice way to help, your child to be able to be healthy. But I see it so much in the families because I work in healthcare, and I've worked on that end of the sick end of healthcare because I'm a nurse in a pediatric institution. And seeing how even like your principles and the foods that you talk about in balance, not being a diet, it breaks my heart when I see the focus being on the weight and not the health.
Yeah, absolutely. And luckily, I think the tides are changing a little bit, at least in our sport. But I think still in the quote unquote regular world, in the health world, sometimes people I got to lose weight. I got diabetes, and they try to go on an extreme diet, and then it backfires. And it's just, education is so important. And I think real life stories, like my story, look at this woman. She was a bodybuilder. She was extreme. She had an eating disorder because she thought she was never going to have a French fry again. So she spent all week eating French fries one week, right?
Oh my God.
So it's so about balance and not restricting and just being a healthy, happy person.
Yeah, I know when I was bodybuilding, I was not like, I remember people told me like after I finished bodybuilding, like I was a different person. Like they were like, oh my God, you're so different. And I'm like, no, this is me. This is me right here. I mean, but I was just I was so focused and I was so intense with that diet and, getting to that goal. And one thing I've also I've learned, and I'm teaching women all the time, life's not about that goal. It's about like, keep going forward. It's like, it's not, a getting to this point and stopping. It's a journey. It's an ongoing thing. And I think we too get like in the weight loss thing, people get so focused on the number. I need to be at this weight and I need to look like this, instead of feeling good and feeling healthy and feeling strong. It's just so focused on the outside. That's where I see like with you, the challenges with the parents the challenge with the kids is the impression of the parent and what the parent feels about health and fitness. No, even if they're not gymnasts.
Yeah. And a lot of times something that's really challenging for me is I'll have a parent that a lot of these girls are going through puberty, and the parent, especially the mom, who I love you, gymnastics moms. You guys are my number one. I mean, I live for you guys. You are my client. I want to know and embrace you, but I know how hard it is because most of you are seeing your daughters going through puberty. And what happens is they're getting hips, they're getting boobs, their bodies are changing. Gymnastics isn't as easy anymore. And so I get the phone call, Betsy, and the kid's feeling a little insecure. Yeah. And so it's all very normal. It's all very natural and beautiful. And these girls need to embrace that. But it's also like, sometimes I get moms that are like, they want me to push their kid to lose weight. And I'm like, I can't do that. Your kid has just once they eat healthfully, the right portions, they're going to be where they need to be. Anybody who's watching this, if you're trying to lose weight, if you just eat the right amount of food that your body needs intuitively, and you're working out, you're taking care of yourself, your body is going to fall in balance, and you will be at the weight you're supposed to be. How do I know
the
that?
right amount of food for you? Like, how do you know
Well,
that?
me personally, I know my body to a T.
Mm-hmm.
I know if I drink a glass of wine the next day, I'm going to be foggy brain. I know if I eat, like, if I don't eat bread in the morning, I'm going to eat bread later at night because I miss that bread. So I know my body, and I think you probably do too
I
from
do.
bodybuilding. You
Mm-hmm.
do. So I think it takes a long time for people to develop that relationship with their body. I think just be patient, be open minded, and experiment, and really take note of how you feel after you eat
Mm.
certain foods. I think
You
that's
guys
so, I
hear
think
that? Take note.
intuitive eating is so important. Like, I had some potatoes the other night and I hadn't had potatoes, regular potatoes. I had a stomach ache the next day. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing that again. So just take note of how your body responds. If you feel puffier, don't eat it again. That's intuitive eating is a huge part of my programs. If you're a mom, I mean, I just believe that's the way to go, because who wants to be on a diet until they're 89 years old? I
God, no, that's horrible. Just the
don't.
thought makes me nauseous.
Yes.
But I think a lot of people don't, because it's funny because I hear people complain about, oh, I'm gassy, or, I'll think, well, what did you eat? Did you eat something that was outside your norm, or,
Hmm.
and I don't think that's true. I think most people don't take note of what they eat and how their body responds to it. That
I
is
agree.
that is so key. And I know I was given the gift. Bodybuilding actually taught me that how my body reacts to things. So I was really lucky. Bodybuilding helped me in that area. But I think for the average people, what are some keys to things that, ways that they can know what's good and bad for their body? Because I think most people don't, if they don't eat good all the time, they don't know
Yeah.
what their body's supposed to feel like.
I'll tell you, the number one thing is, if you're tired. If you feel
Mm,
tired during the day, it's something you did the day before. It's the sugar you had. It's the alcohol you drank. It's the extra carbohydrate maybe that you had before you went to bed. A lot of times it's a delayed effect. Whatever you ate the day
mm,
before affects you the next day. So that's one way to really look at it, and to be consistent. Like, eat the same thing for a while. And I'm a creature of habit. I like variety, but I like to eat kind of the same thing every day, because I know my body, because I know if I
mm-hmm.
go off that a little bit,
That's
I'm going to feel weird.
I,
So,
people always laugh at me because I always pack all of my food for the day, and
yeah,
I'm like, because I said my body is a fine-tuned machine. It does not like everything, so I know what it
for
likes.
sure.
So I pack what it likes.
Exactly, exactly. And I think that people need variety, but I think you need to kind of and I'm not saying do a diet, but kind of do an elimination process. If you're
Mm-hmm.
somebody who wants to get to know your body better, eliminate some foods that you think might be, giving you gas or making you bloated or giving you a headache. I didn't realize it, but I'm allergic to oats, and I ate oats
What?
forever. Yeah, I'm allergic to oatmeal. It's crazy, but it,
Oh my
it developed it developed over time. It didn't develop until my late 30s that I would get headaches and stomach aches. And I guess you can develop allergies over time.
That's so
So,
funny you said that, Betsy, because a couple weeks ago I made homemade pizzas and I bought the dough and everything, but I use this packaged sauce, and like normally I never use a packaged pizza sauce. I always make homemade sauce. But I used the packaged sauce. We were watching a movie. 2 hours later, I go look in the mirror. My lips are completely blown up.
oh my gosh.
And I was like, what did I eat? The only thing I ate different was that pizza sauce. And I could not figure out so I actually had allergy tests. I went to the doctor because I was like, I got to know what I can eat because I don't usually eat too much out of my norm. And I don't know if there was some chemical in there. And I also had another reaction to something because my face swelled up a few weeks before. And
Wow.
I eat like the same things. So the only things I could point out were specific things I had eaten.
Well, I hope you figured that out.
I know, right? Because I don't want to be like getting ready to do a live like this. And like, hey, this
Yeah.
turning dirty from the three lives.
Yeah. We don't want that. We don't need that. You need to be looking good.
But like you said, I mean, allergies, I never had a food allergy. But one thing I can tell you, this I know for sure, and I will preach this up and down. I have severe asthma. I notice my asthma flares up worse when I don't eat healthy. When I did bodybuilding, I never had a problem with my asthma the whole time. I eat completely clean. When I started eating regular food again, I started getting really sick. So I don't know what the correlation is between there, but there's
Additives,
definitely
preservatives. Also, do you take rosemary?
like in a capsule or?
capsule or
Yeah.
in spice or oil.
I
Rosemary is really good for asthmatics.
Oh, thank you. No,
Yes.
I've never tried that.
Yes, try rosemary.
I definitely will. See, and
Yeah.
those are the things that are important tips. Do you have any, like, if someone wants to make a few changes in their diet just to start moving forward, any, like, really, like, 3 or 4 or 5 tips that could be really helpful to help someone to transition from an unhealthy to a healthy lifestyle?
Absolutely. Number one, clean out your cupboard. Go in there and take out any processed junk. Okay. Now, you can leave a couple things in there, but take out the chips, the Cheetos, the Doritos, the sodas, the sugary cereals, anything that comes in a bag that makes a noise. It's probably
Oh my
processed.
God. I mean, it comes in a bag that makes a
Yeah,
noise.
if it's a bag and it makes a noise, it's probably a processed food. So get that out. Start eating like a caveman or a cave woman. Start
Oh
eating.
gosh.
What did a caveman or a cave woman eat? They ate nuts. They ate berries. They ate fish. They ate greens. They ate animals. You know, if it had a face, swam on a tree, or swam on a tree, swam in the sea, or grew on a tree, or grew from the ground. I always say
Hmm.
had a face, swam in the sea, grew on a tree, came from the ground. It's probably a clean food. So my whole message is balance, but clean eating. Take out the processed foods, loaded
Hmm.
with sodium, loaded with additives, preservatives, you know, and just clean that up, and you will be amazed at how good you feel. Start there.
Wow.
That's it. So that's the
Okay.
first tip. Increase your
All right,
water. If you're not
everybody.
drinking enough water, make sure you're doing that. Take out soda. Soda is filled with carbonation. Soda has fizzes in it, right? What is that? It's gas. I can't tell you the number of moms who drink diet soda. I say literally take it out of your diet. Take it out for 1 week. You will feel like you don't have a bloated belly anymore. It's true. Take it out, all that gas in your stomach, the sodium. Um,
Oh my
Soda is a
gosh.
big thing. It kills people. And it literally kills you too. I mean, it's loaded with sugar,
Mm, yeah.
um, the carbonation, the sodium, the colorant. So get out the processed food, get off the soda, and not forever. You can have a soda occasionally. You can have some chips here and there, but just try to like eat like a cave woman, like a
Okay.
caveman.
That makes it simple. Eat like a cave woman. Eat like
Yeah,
a caveman.
it's pretty easy,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of times people stress eat. That's a big issue. A lot, especially women like me, like you. Not that we do that, but
Yeah. I'm like a stress starver. Like
yeah.
I'm the person that doesn't eat when I'm stressed. Like in grad school I lost like 40 pounds. Like
Oh my
I'm
God.
the non yeah. I'm the like when I'm stressed I need wine and that's it.
Yeah. Well, know your triggers and know that overeating or undereating is not the answer. But
Right.
I notice that a lot of people eat when they're stressed, when they're tired, when
Tired,
they're
definitely.
hormonal, which for me, I'm
Wow.
45 and my hormones are like the craziest they've ever been. Like I feel like a 14-year-old girl going through puberty right now.
See,
Um,
tell Derwin that. See, this is normal. I'm supposed to act irrational sometimes.
Completely. Completely. It's off the chain, out of control right now. Okay. 45-year-old women are not fun to hang out with.
I'm gonna use that one. I'm 52 and I'm using it for the rest of my life. I don't care.
Yeah, you can use it. But honestly, if you're a stress eater, try to eat foods that will regulate your blood sugar. So, like whole grains, sweet potatoes, brown rice, Ezekiel bread, quinoa, all of those grains that
Mm,
help to regulate your blood sugar, because the processed white breads, the white rices, the white pastas, those will increase your blood sugar, and you're already hormonal and moody.
mm,
So, fresh fruits, vegetables, complex carbs, it's again stuff you will probably already know, but you have to do it. We're getting older. It
yeah.
doesn't get easier, people.
And you feel so much better. Like
Yeah.
honestly, like you do feel a lot better. I used to start my day and I'm, from bodybuilding, I'm still like I always ate those eggs, like, that 4 egg whites and an egg. And I did that forever and I would always be hungry. Like I'm like a grazer. So I'm like one of those people that I eat all day long. If I don't, then I'm really hard to get along with.
Yeah.
But I'm a grazer. So like I would be hungry sooner. Now I've started doing like I like smoothie bowls, but I always make my own granola so I can control the sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And I do make the best granola ever, but you can't have any because you're allergic to oats.
Oh
But
yeah.
it's like the best granola because I put extra nuts in it. Anyway, but I've been having like my green smoothie and my granola every morning, and I have so much energy. I and I know eggs still have the protein and everything, but I don't know what it is about just having the spinach and the fruits and the Greek yogurt in there and the coconut water. I don't know, but I can't stop doing it because I feel so good.
Absolutely. Well, it's all the nutrients, the micronutrients, the water dense foods, all of those things. I mean, our body is 80% water.
Right.
So when we're constantly giving ourselves cruciferous vegetables and berries and coconut water, which has
Hmm.
magnesium and potassium and all those great things. So, of course, you're going to have more energy. And that's what I try to tell my athletes. Like, look, that protein bar is not going to give you the energy you need.
No.
That green shake will, though.
Hmm.
Exactly what you just said. And even like normal, regular people who are eating these processed like bars, like protein bars,
Hmm.
granola bars, and all that, it's just it's a drainer. I mean, it makes your blood sugar go up, you go down, and eating whole foods, eating complex carbohydrates, especially for women, girls going through puberty, and women going through perimenopause. That's what we need to be eating.
That's our house right there.
Completely. That's your house. It's my
That's my
house.
house right now.
I have a 16-year-old now too,
You
so
do.
I get it.
Oh,
Yeah.
welcome.
Yes. It's so fun.
Yeah. Well, and we should drink more wine when you have 16-year-olds. That's
Oh, I
all I'm
have
gonna
mine right here.
say. I'm having my tea. I have my wine afterwards, so I can be
Awesome.
hydrated. Oh my gosh, Betsy, I'm gonna. We've talked a lot about nutrition and stuff. Let's talk a little bit about these books because I didn't. I
Oh,
Things
you're the
about
best,
me. I
Stephanie. You know
know.
what, Stephanie? Can I interrupt you? I just
Yeah.
want to tell you, I'm not sure what your goals and mission are in your business and what you're trying to do, but I just want to say I commend you for going out there and putting yourself out there and living your passion as your I know this is
Oh,
right
thank
now this is a budding passion for you,
you.
and I just
Hmm.
want to say to any woman who is wanting to start their own career, wanting to start your side gig, wanting to like live your passion and your best life, just freaking do it. You have
Right.
nothing to lose. Make the time for it. I literally was on um, public assistance 6 years ago. Okay. I was living in France with nothing. We were living off the government. I had zero money. I came back to America. I started my business from nothing.
Thank
My
you for
kids were on
saying that.
WIC. Yes, you can do anything. It's just, you know what? It's hard work. But if you can see it and you go toward that goal every day and you take the steps, no matter how hard it is, you can live the most freeing, amazing life. I am living my passion. And I just want to say, I commend you for going out there and doing what you're doing just by starting here, by doing Facebook Lives and Instagram Lives. It's keep going, keep
Oh,
doing it
thank
because
you.
it will pay off and
Oh
keep building your
gosh.
following. It's
Thank you
true.
so much. I mean, I know you understand it, and that's why I bring women on like you because I mean it's all about finding your sweet like your life
Yes.
that fits your purpose, not hers or hers. And you know, it's not easy. Like I mean, I'm glad you shared that story because I think so many people look for the this is going to be easy or like they see your life and they see where you are now but they don't see where you were, so they don't see what you sacrificed and what you went through to do this.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we need to see that and we need to talk about, that's why I talk about my experience, that's why I talk about my sexual assault, that's why I talk about the things that held me back so that I could now that I can propel forward and help other women. And that's why I bring women on like you because I want to share women's stories and their experiences and their businesses, because collaborate, we got to help each other out on this earth instead of bringing each
100%.
other down. Like there's no
Yes.
time for that. Like all of us are limited. Like I always
Yep.
say, you can make as much money as you want, but you can't make any more time. And when your time is up,
Your time is up.
time is up. But
Absolutely.
I'm glad. Thank you for saying that to me. And you know how I feel about you. Like, oh, before we move any further, I have to show you this. So I had this bracelet my husband bought me a while ago, and I actually found it this morning, ironically, and I had to show it because I thought about you. I don't know if you can see what it says.
What does it say?
Gym addict, and do you see the 25-pound weight?
Oh, yeah.
My husband bought this for me like several years ago,
I love it.
and I was like looking for drawer this morning. I was like, I wear my gym addict bracelet. Anyway,
Yes.
there.
I love it.
So this is Betsy's first book, you guys, Binges and Balancing. I was so flipping proud of you. I was like, I jumped on there immediately and bought a couple copies because this was you telling your story of what brought you from where you were.
Yes.
And of course, I tab books. I'm like a book tabber. But I love this book. Can you tell them a little bit about this book and what this means to you? And
Yes, this book is about overcoming addiction. It doesn't matter what you're addicted to. If you're addicted to alcohol, if you're addicted to sex, if you're addicted to drugs, if you're addicted to food, which was in my case, um, it's to give somebody hope, especially if you have an eating disorder. Because I'm telling you, having binge eating disorder, you it's like somebody goes into your body and takes over your body. You're in a trance. I would stand in front of my kitchen cupboards and literally eat myself to sleep. I'm talking like in the middle of the night, getting up to going to my food pantry and eating every single thing in it, going to the store in the morning and refilling because I was ashamed. I mean, and I was so bloated and felt sick and I had water retention, and I would do it over and over and over again. And then I would get ready for a bodybuilding show and I would go the other direction. I would be extreme. I would do 4 hours of cardio. I would diet. I would, obsess about my body. And it was just such a roller coaster. And I think I had this disorder for about 7 years, 6 or 7 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And I overcame it. I did. And I live to tell this story. I work with a lot of high level elite gymnasts who have this disorder. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to say I'm counseling them, but I'm there to listen to them and to give them hope and to say, you can overcome this. It's physiological, it's mental, it's, again, your body is like possessed. When you start eating sugar and you haven't eaten sugar in 6 months, you can't stop. And you keep going and going and going. And so that's what the story is. It's the story of how the tools I used and how I overcame binge eating disorder. And now how I share that with gymnasts all over the world, how I teach them that it's okay and you can get through it.
This is so good. And I mean, I know from experience, I've suffered from an eating disorder and mine was related to a traumatic event. But I remember going through drive-throughs. Oh my God, it's so embarrassing now I think about it. I remember I'd go through like McDonald's and I order like, a McRib and eat that whole thing and fries and everything and drink it down and throw it up. And then I would go to Arby's and get like an Arby's beef and cheddar, fries and a drink, and then eat it all down, make sure I drank last and throw it all up. And then I'm like, oh my God, then I start thinking about spending all this money, but it wasn't about the money. It was about the control. And it was something that I had to I had no control in my life there. I still was dealing with, being sexually assaulted that I hadn't dealt with, and all that just played off that. But that became one of my addictions. So, when it came to bodybuilding, it was easy because I was good with give me something to focus on, and
control.
I created that. Now, like you developing the balance. The balance part is where no matter what the addiction is, being able to work through that, find whatever resource you need, therapy, support, whatever, to be able to get that balance. I mean, this is about balance, being binges and balancing, but the balance in your life to have a real life.
Yeah, to have a real life. And what I'll tell the viewers, so you don't have to go out and get my book unless you want to, you can get it on Amazon. What really truly got me balanced was moving to France. And I looked and lived the life of a French person. And I realized here are these people eating bread, chocolate, and drinking wine, and they look pretty damn good. What am I doing wrong here? And then I'm like, oh, they don't have cars. Oh, they're riding their bikes everywhere. Oh, I'm starting to walk everywhere. And I was not, at this point, I had kind of overcame I hadn't binged, but I was still kind of struggling with overeating a little bit. And I lost 9 pounds when I moved there in a month. And all I changed was I wasn't driving everywhere, and I started eating like the French people. And how do they eat? They eat moderately all day long. And they eat bread for breakfast. They have a snack. They have a big lunch. They have a goûter at 4 o'clock, always a chocolate and a tea, and they have a light dinner. And I'm like, I have this backwards. I'm like eating no breakfast.
I'm eating backwards.
Yeah, I'm eating no breakfast. I'm snacking on crap all throughout the day. And then I'm eating a huge dinner with lots of alcohol. I got this really wrong. So I think just, you know what, for people to change their addictions, I think they have to get out of the environment that they're in physically. And that's what I learned from moving to France is I just saw the world from a different place and a different culture. Like, you don't have to like be locked into this culture, because Americans, we're eating way too much food at night. Food is too convenient. In France at 10 o'clock, there's nothing open. You can't go get your McRib at 10 o'clock. It's done at 6. It's done at 7. So, I think that just changing your environment has a big, will result in positive changes if you're dealing with addiction.
So was it a mindset change or a lifestyle change?
Lifestyle, and I stopped putting pressure on myself. Like, I stopped dieting. I stopped like, I got to lose weight. Stop that. No, I have to eat like a normal person. I had to restructure my mindset, but really actually reprogram the pathways in my brain to say, you know what? It's okay to eat bread. I'm going to have rice for dinner. I'm going to have carbs before I go to bed, and I'm going to drink wine. It's going to be okay. I'm not going to eat carbs all day long. I'm just going to eat. Let's try what the French people do. Let's see what happens. And what the heck? I've not looked back since. I've been binge free for 9 years.
Wow.
Like, I feel amazing. And I'm 45 and I'm tired sometimes, but I'm in great shape and I'm balanced. So it can be done for all gymnasts. A lot of ex-gymnasts have this issue a lot. And I'm trying, it's another big population I'm trying to reach.
That's a whole nother demographic. And Ashley says this is so true about having convenient options and making it too easy to get an unhealthy option. Yes, we definitely do.
Oh, yeah.
In America.
In America, in France at 10 o'clock, I remember we didn't have diapers when Lenny was born. And we were like, what do we do? I guess we use like a plastic bag. I don't know. I mean, you literally can't go to the store when you live in a village in France. Everything is closed. So everything is at our fingertips here in America. And that's why we're obese. And that's why we're slow. A lot of us, not all of us, but we drive in our car. We don't walk, so lifestyle, people.
I recently had a conversation. One of my friends owns a nutrition company, of course, and I've been kind of watching her nutrition classes because I'm always gathering information. And one of the things she said that she used to work for Kraft Foods, so she worked for the food industry. And one of the reasons she started nutrition companies was because she worked for the food industry and she saw all the crap they put into our food. One thing that she mentioned that I never thought about. So you remember the old food pyramid that had like grains?
Oh, yeah.
At the bottom, and it was like 10 to 11 servings of grains. I love that food pyramid because I was like, I can eat 10 to 11 servings of bread. This is awesome. So one thing she said that made me like light bulb, she said that was created for big industry because you can't you can go buy fruits and vegetables, but you can grow fruits and vegetables, you can get fresh meat, but you have to buy a processed food, like you have to buy processed breads. You have to buy that. And she was saying that that's why that was created by the government to encourage us to go out and buy packaged breads because we had to have 10 to 11 servings of breads.
Yes.
And that blew my mind.
And I could go into, that's so true. And I could go into a whole nother topic about milk and why people think they need to drink milk because of after the depression. I mean, after the depression, people, their teeth were falling out. I mean, so you need to drink milk. It's the only way you can get vitamin D and calcium.
We were raised.
Yep, I know.
Milk, it grows the body good. Hello.
Yep.
Commercials.
Yes. Yep.
I know. She said when she said the same thing, I was like, I'm tired too, and you and your milk conversation. We must talk about. I don't even drink milk. I drink almond milk, but my daughter still. But I will tell you one thing, Betsy. Nia loved milk. Like she was a milk head. We switched her milk from regular milk to organic skim. Probably about 6-7 years ago. Significant difference in her body, in her bloating. Like that was the only thing we changed. We didn't change anything else. We took away. We did organic milk, skim, and she doesn't even drink that much anymore. But just that one change in her diet, and so I was like, oh my gosh, what is in that 99-cent gallon of milk?
I can tell you, my 5-year-old Lenny, who he's 5. He was developing acne at 5 on his forehead. and on his nose, like blackheads. And Lenny was a preemie, was only 2 pounds at birth. So we've been giving him milk, but we've been giving him organic, vitamin D and all that. But we switched brands and we went to lactose free. Nothing. Zero acne. So, I think a lot of it too depends on the brand, the type, who's manufacturing it. We went from, I don't want to say the brand, one brand to another, and we went lactose free.
You can share
and
that
now
with
he's
me
fine.
later.
I will.
Yeah.
So I do believe that. I mean, the excessive hormones in the milk, and we're already drinking the milk, the hormones from the cow. We're taking in that cow's hormones plus any other extra hormones. So I'm not anti-milk, but I'm just saying, look for like intuitive, right? We talked about intuitive eating and look at for signs in your kids and how your body responds.
I mean,
severe acne on a 5-year-old.
That's crazy. I couldn't believe the difference in her body as far as like just having that little layer of fat and bloating just from changing the type of milk. And that was it. I mean, now like we really, we're more, that was before we like changed over to a more, but I always had a clean diet because of my own personal issues with food and bodybuilding. Let's talk about my favorite book here, Jim the Chef. I just love this cookbook. I really do.
Awesome.
And sometimes I do like variations of things. So like, I may not do it exactly this way, or I may use a different fish, but there are some really great recipes for families. And that's why I always share the ones that I make so that other people can use this as a tool.
Absolutely.
Another tool.
And the reason why my husband, who's a French chef, we did this is because we found that people just don't know how to cook. And again, it's an American culture thing. It could be happening all over the country and all over the world. But we noticed in France, people take time to cook meals. They sit down together, and we wanted to bring that back. And we wanted to say, hey, it's not that hard to cook a healthy meal for your family. It may take a little extra time, but just try it. You'll like it and develop these habits. Make time. Why is it not important? And we, the book is more than just 40 recipes. It's 300 pages of information for gymnasts. Yeah. I mean, there's so much stuff in there.
Yeah. Even the nutrients, like stuff that I didn't know about, like even like nutrients, like about the berries and kale, like I know you made it for gymnasts, but there is a wealth of knowledge in here about nutrients that people need to know. That really hasn't been placed in a book like this ever. Like you can go online, you can Google it or whatever, but to have it in one place, like I love that I could go in here and find out about coconut oil and the benefits of coconut oil. And I could go right in there and find out about flaxseed oil and exactly, what it will do for my body. So I personally think I live by this book. My daughter hates it. I'm like, that doesn't say that in Betsy's book. And she's like, I think it's Betsy's book. It is Betsy's book. So this is Jim the Chef. You guys, you can either find this on, you can find it on Amazon, you can go to my Amazon store. But honestly, if you're looking to have more nutrients in your food, if you want to have food that not only tastes good, but helps your body, and I know that I've used these for my picky daughter, and she actually eats them. She will attest to probably saying she doesn't, but she really does. She just likes to say the opposite. But there are some really, really good recipes in here. And I love that there's a variety too that's kind of like, a little bit of the French thrown in there. And then some of the healthier options. This one, I like this one too. That was a good one. The breakfast chocolate pudding.
Oh yeah. We were just talking about that this morning, how the cup, like we saw a picture of a pudding like that, and like there was stuff going over the side of the cup and how it looked messy. And Mess didn't like that, ironically. He wanted it to be clean. And we saw a picture of somebody having like the messy, he's like, these